Okay, today we are writing systems of equations, and you are going to make sure that you write down all of the steps that I'm about to show you, and I'm going to work through the first two examples, and then you guys are on your own to do the rest. You are going to finish problems 3 through 5 and then turn them into the tray, so that way you get your points for the day. So the steps to writing a system of equations, okay, the first thing you want to do once you read the scenario is state what variables you will use and what they mean. You can pick any letters that you would like, but you have to tell me what those letters represent. After you have done that, look at key information and numbers in the problem to help you create your equations. And then step 3, write 2 equations with both variables in each equation. So write down all 3 of these steps. Push pause if you need to, so that way you can write them down, and then go ahead and push play again, so that way you can keep going to the examples. So example number 1, Nick has a pocket full of dimes and quarters that total $6.65. The number of dimes is 5 more than 3 times the number of quarters. How many quarters and dimes does he have? You are not required to solve this. The only thing you need to do is to state the variables and write the 2 equations. Okay, so step 1, again, going back to our steps, state what variables you will use and what they mean. So here, I like the little X and Y because that's what we typically use. And since our problem is working with dimes and quarters, we're going to say X equals the number of quarters, and then Y equals number of dimes. Okay, so then step 2 is to look for key information in the problem. So he's got dimes and quarters that total $6.65. Well, we know that a quarter is 25 cents and a dime is 10 cents. I feel like that's going to be important, okay? Especially since combined it's $6.65. So for my first equation, the number of quarters that he has, so 0.25x, so the number of quarters times the amount of each quarter plus 0.10 y, because y is my number of dimes, is equal to 6.65, okay? And that came from dimes are 10 cents a piece, quarters are 25 cents a piece. I used X for quarters and Y for dimes. So 0.25X plus 0.10Y is equal to $6.65. My second equation, the number of dimes is 5 more than 3 times the number of quarters. Okay, so the number of dimes, which is Y, is 5 more than, so 5 more than 3 times the number of quarters. So 3 times the number of quarters was X. So that means my other equation is Y equals 5 plus 3X. And that's all you have to do for this. You could solve it if you want to for bonus points, but you are not required. So the next problem. Okay, the perimeter of a dance floor is 44 feet. The length is 8 feet less than twice the width. What are the dimensions of the dance floor? Okay, again, you can pick whatever letters you want. I'm going to use X and Y. So X, we'll say, is the length, and Y equals the width. Okay, so step 2 was to look for key information. So length, I said, was X. And width is, not width, is WY. Okay. So the key information, the perimeter is 44 feet. Well, perimeter of a rectangle is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. I did it again. 2 times the width is equal to 44. And remember, guys, that's from, if this is my dance floor, okay, if this is my width, and this is my length. There are 2 lengths and 2 widths, so all of those added together is 44 feet. Okay, now the next part, the length is 8 feet less than twice the width. Well, twice the width would be 2y, but I want 8 feet less than that. So it'd be minus 8, but that's saying the length is. So x equals. So that's going to be x equals 2y minus 8. Okay? And again, you don't have to solve this system. You just have to go ahead and write it. So I've done the first 2 for you. On the back, you have questions 3 through 5. Do those on your own. You may work with a partner if you would like. When you are finished with all 5, turn that into the tray and you will get your points for the day.